to Messiah, who was ranked #1 at the time, coming a week ago on September 23rd. Seagull pressure forces that ball out of bounds. Williamson finds Young. That ball loose now in the Seagulls' end. I said earlier, this is a very young squad the Seagulls are putting out there. Appleby, the lone graduating senior. They've certainly shown some experience beyond their years, maybe. The kind of fight that they put up against such a high-quality opponent in Messiah just a week ago, rather 2 weeks ago. You can feel the energy from the sideline, from the crowd. So there's a player down on the field. Washington, last time out, this past Wednesday, they beat Stevenson 3-0. All three of those goals coming in the second half. Now, play will resume. Shores sends it downfield. Amoros, the long ball. Shores catches up to it. Berg lets it roll out. Seagulls playing with some good energy on defense. They'll be fired up for this game today. Officials blow the whistle, awarding it to Mary Washington. Nice job from Joseph Ennis there, cutting off the angle, putting his body in front of the ball. That ball handled in the corner. Now the Seagulls trying to get out and run. A lot of contact. Whistle is blown. Dale Gordon drawing the whistle. Takes his time on the ground before getting up. Appleby fighting for the ball, can't get to it. Collected by Santana, who sends it out to the wing. Dolzel working with Miller. That ball loose in the middle of the field now, but Williamson's there to intercept the Eagle pass. Santana hits it to Kirkland, who loses the ball. Williamson can't adjust. Carter Berg tried to sneak that one to the far pipe. Just off target. Looked like Wendell would not have been able to get to that one if it was about a foot to the left, but Seagulls escape a bit of a misplay in their own end early. This ball fought for in the midfield. Eagles maintaining possession. Kirkland running into the box. Cut off by Wendell. Wendell will take his time now. After a couple flurries from the Eagles, give his defense a little bit of time to collect their breath. Seagulls not able to maintain possession, though. Now the Eagles will just play it back in their own end. Shell now working up the near wing. Castillo finds Kirkland, whose touch is a little too strong for Schmuggy. Williamson looking for something. That ball finds its way back to Kirkland. Now Castillo. Eagles overpass a little bit there. Can't hold on to it. Contact from behind and another whistle. We've seen a couple times already the pace that Dale Gordon plays with, forcing the Eagles into committing some fouls. Salisbury is going to want to try to orchestrate something on offense. They've been finding themselves playing defense for most of the first part of this game. That ball lined into the box. Now rolls out. Gordon pressuring. Castillo upfield. And it's got a touch on it, but couldn't control it. Amoros searching. Now Kirkland back to Amoros. Wendell's there to intercept it. That was a good looking play from the Eagles. Just good instincts from Wendell to get in that passing lane.
Get up, App.
Appleby gets ahead on that, but sends it out of bounds. The Eagles have controlled possession most of this game so far. Salisbury's going to hope to make them pay on some counterattacking opportunities. They haven't really presented themselves thus far. Wendell boots it. Josh Wendell, who's allowed 3 goals in his 4 starts for the Seagulls. He's made 9 saves versus the 30 shots he's faced. You can see Mary Washington is doing a good job of valuing the ball so far. They're happy to work it around their back end. Try to flip the field laterally. Schmuggy's able to work that one back to Shell, who continues the ball's path back. Seagulls not really pressuring Mary Washington when ball's in their end like that. Nice touch from Miller to Appleby. Gordon was on a run, and that whistle will be blown for a handball, I believe. Gordon on the far wing, works back upfield. Seagulls still trying to operate. Can't maintain it. Schmuggy with a full head of steam. Gets it off to Berg in the corner. Gets it past Williamson. Now they're fighting for a position. Lots of contact, no whistle. Barwick almost took that one away. Eagles really maintaining their patience on offense. Seagulls sent a couple players to that ball. Castillo now in the middle of the field. Finds Francesconi, who takes that shot and it goes wide. Wendell talking to his defense, trying to direct them. Letting them know we do not want the ball unchallenged in the heart of the field like that. Once again, the junior sends it downfield. A lot of contact on that right there. Carter Berg trying to explain himself to the official, but the junior's explanation goes unheeded by the official. Seagulls, for the most part. Now Gordon collected that loose ball but had his shot blocked. Just as I was about to note how the Seagulls haven't been able to string anything too threatening together even when they have gotten the ball down to Mary Washington's end. Barwick gets up for that one. That ball skied out of bounds. That ball bounces all the way across the street. Now Gordon in the box. Appleby got a piece of it, couldn't quite get there. That's the best look the Seagulls have had so far today. Castillo collects it, lots of room to run around midfield. Sends it out wide, Santana now. Sends a pass too strong for Amorose to get to. Looked like the Eagles might have had something for a moment there on that counterattack. Gordon found himself on the ground. Be a free kick right on the sideline for Mary Washington. And that ball makes its way to the back of the net. Looked like maybe it might have been deflected, but Amorose took the kick from well outside the box. Maybe it was deflected as it passed into the box, but either way, keeper Josh Wendell couldn't track it. Bounced its way to the far post, and Mary Washington takes the lead 1-0. Seagulls find themselves in a deficit. Williamson cuts that one off. Floyd leaves it for Miller. Now Gordon will have a chance to do something. Floyd Young back now to Williamson. Williamson who hits the deck. Physical defense from Mary Washington so far. They've been the aggressors for the most part in this first half. Appleby sizes this one up. Lofts it into the box. Handled by the Eagle defense. Young with some space. Hops for Appleby on the wing. Appleby working against a couple Eagles. That's all he can just to keep possession. He sends it off the foot of Schmuggy. That ball rolls just west of the pole for a throw-in. Now Appleby will take a seat for the sophomore David Peters. Jogs to the ball. Action in the midfield, ends with a whistle. See at what point Salisbury decides they need to start pressuring Mary Washington. They're just kind of passing the ball around the back. They've been limiting themselves to just around the midfield line. Rarely pushing up more. Aiden Shell, senior out of Charlottesville, misstruck that one. Just lofted it out of bounds. Young has the ball poked away by Francesconi. He gets it back to Williamson now. Gordon tried to lay it off for Miller, but had it taken away. Rarig fights for that one, but passes it right to a Seagull. Gordon hit the deck. A whistle was blown and a yellow card given to number 2 of the Eagles, Sammy Amoros. First card of the game. We've had a couple balls in the last minute now give the crowd in the stands cause for concern. Lots of heads ducking. No injuries reported. That was a nice job from Miller fighting for that one, keeping the Seagulls alive on the play. Barwick loses the race. The officials decide the physical play warranted a foul. Francisconi loses his footing, loses the ball, but Eagles will maintain possession with the throw-in. Kirkland starts a quick pass play. Williamson gets up to it. That ball high in the air. Still bouncing. Castillo tried to strike that one off the volley, sent it wide.
Good job, Sean.
Now Sean Barwick for Salisbury takes a seat. It's the freshman Drake Trauma now on the field for the Seagulls. Shores looking for a teammate. He finds Young. Now Williamson. Some friendly fire as Brady Young had to wear that one. Seagulls trying to work up the near sideline. Peters has it taken away. Berg challenged by Floyd. Now the ball up to Gordon. He's got some space. Peters on the near wing. Pass couldn't get there. Well read by Aiden Shell. Kirkland, he's dangerous with the ball at his foot. Gives it to Castillo. Berg had a mind to get it back to Kirkland, but Seagull defense was up to the task. Trauma tripped and had to fiddle with his laces a bit. Peters was well offsides on that play.
Come on, DP.
No whistle. It looked like even Williamson, the challenging defender, expected it. Schmuggy went airborne. Schmuggy now to throw in. Kirkland right on the edge of the box, trying to turn the corner. He's able to get the ball in. Bounces out. Trauma and Gordon fighting for it, and Gordon knew the minute after. Moment after he made the play, he knew the whistle was coming. It's been a physical game through about 22 minutes and change. Now a set piece opportunity for the Eagles. It's Castillo on the ball for now. And that ball shot just north of the crossbar. Francisconi, the senior, who has a couple goals to his name this season, struck that one well, lifted it just the tiniest bit too much. Now Gordon collects the ball. Sends it in, and it bounces to Francesconi, who works it over to Schmuggy. Santana now back to Schmuggy. Williamson was there. Trauma tried to pass the ball. Nathan Terrell got a foot on it. Trauma does a nice job of intercepting that, leaves it off for Peters. Now he's got a little bit of room to run down the near sideline. Eagle defense able to adjust to that one. This ball is going to stay in bounds for now. Williamson got a touch on it, letting it roll out of bounds. Berg looks a little unhappy there. Santana across to Amoros. Amoros cuts it back to his left foot. That attempt is blocked by Joseph Ennis. This ball from the far sideline to the near post. Wendell all over it. Williamson tried to work it straight up the field, turned down the option. Peters presented him on his left. Rarig jostling for position with Kirkland. Well played by Rarig, earns his team a goal kick. Mary Washington leads Salisbury 5-1. This ball out to Berg from Kirkland. Wendell dives for it. Berg maintains possession. He chips it. And a goal is saved by Schwarz. Jack Schwarz, after Wendell dove for the ball, couldn't stop the play. Schwarz, the freshman defender, standing on the goal line, headed that ball away.
Go DP. Drive.
Peters has got green grass and a teammate in front of him in Miller.
Oh.
The Eagle defense collapses. Okay, Peters not a whole lot to work with. Floyd wins it to Young. Seagulls unable to maintain. That really has been the story of this first half. Salisbury not able to string enough together on offense. Berg tried to leave it off for Castillo. Seagulls turn it right back over, though. Schmuggy working on Williamson. Finds Castillo streaking into the box. He slows it up. Francisconi turns it back once again. Williamson handles the pass from Santana, sends it out of bounds. Now Peters takes a seat for Aiden Sabur. Joseph Ennis also now on the bench as the freshman Liam Pierce takes the field. A couple substitutions for Salisbury. Right away, Sabur racing up the field. Miller wanted to get it to Trauma. Connection wasn't available. Pierce with some physical defense. Right when he gets into the game, Seagulls will need that kind of energy, but the officials deemed it was too much. Young looking for options, finds Trauma. Young again, Sabur back to Young. Now Sabur gets the ball through. And on a run, it's Trauma. No whistle blown as Terrell hit the grass. Sabur swings it into the box, and that is the first time today we call the name of Freddie Rogers, junior goalkeeper from the UK. First time he's had to play the ball. The Eagles working quickly. Hoskins on the edge of the box has that ball deflected.
First. Get up.
Kirkland receives the pass and gets sent to the ground from behind by Rarig. Francisconi for Santana, now Shell on the near side. Mary Washington really has no aversion at all to just playing the ball backwards, keeping possession if they don't like the Seagull defense is giving them. Quickly they work the ball into the middle of the field. Hoskins tried to work that one into the box. I think Mary Washington was arguing it was off a Seagull. And it will be a corner kick. Number 11, Ethan Dolzel, enters the game, taking the place of Brady Young. Diego Guzman enters the game, and he'll take the corner kick for Mary Washington.
No, 8 for 17 for Eagles.
This ball loose in the box. Vargas had his shot denied. Now in the middle again, Gordon misplays it. Gordon and Santana fighting for it. before it's finally turned away by Schwartz. Another goal kick for Wendell. Gordon turns on that one. Trauma does enough for Saber to get to it. Can't hold it though. Bit of a miscommunication for the Eagles. Hoskins didn't realize that Masick was on the ground. There's a player down for Salisbury. Jake Trauma getting up slowly. He appears to be a little shaken up, and there'll be a substitute coming in for him. Looks like it'll be Adrian Gonzalez, the Bel Air, Maryland native. Bel Air, of course, also home to the Hartford Fighting Owls. Some respect for the game. Now more substitutions for Mary Washington as Kirkland and Berg exit the game. The Fekrat brothers in the game for Mary Washington. Seagulls swarm that one. Saber's tripped up. Michael Leonard is working in the middle of the field, found a teammate, a foot race to the corner. Williamson wins it and gets the ball out of bounds. That's terrific effort from the freshman. Seagulls not out of the clear yet, though. They'll face another corner kick. Under 8 minutes to go in this first half. If you're Salisbury, you got to be thinking, let's just get to halftime with the deficit at 1. Washington's had some good-looking chances as the ball comes in low at the near post. It's deflected out of bounds. Terrell straight up the field, turned away by Rarick. Gonzalez for Salisbury couldn't get to it, but forced the defense to hit it out of bounds. Now Pierce will have a chance to throw it in. Williamson's pass intercepted by Castillo. Rather, Vargas. Hoskins on this near side, looking for a teammate in the middle, couldn't find him.
Good work, Aiden. Keep fighting. Try to find it.
Mary Washington executing what we've seen them do for so much of this first half. Just maintain possession on the back end, try to force a mistake out of the Seagull defense. And the moment they see their opening, they pounce. Saber couldn't get that one to Gonzalez. It's Mary Washington now on the attack. Into the box and just wide. It was a pretty looking play. It ended off the foot. Number 16, Joel Albritton.
Go, Tanner.
There's a few times this game, 2 or 3 that come to mind, that Mary Washington has had some real threatening looking plays and just wide of that post. Rarig over for Schwarz. Schwarz forced to play it back to his keeper. Floyd booted that one. Now Saber on the near side. Saber saw he had a couple teammates on the far side of the box, tried to give him a ball, but neither were making a run. A lot of contact, play continues. Mary Washington working down the field. It's Guzman off to Hoskins. He has that one sail on him. Now for the Seagulls with about 3 minutes left in the half. Cooper Santos enters the game in place of Dale Gordon. Guzman again. Santos, with his fresh legs, instantly gets into the action. He's able to turn that ball upfield. And a nice challenge from Alex Floyd keeps it in. That's a good defensive sequence from the Seagulls right there. Now Stephen Welsh into the game. Alex Floyd exits. Hoskins sends that one to the middle of the field. Guzman works it out to the back. Shell surveys. That's cut off by Schwarz. This ball charged wisely by Wendell. Calls from the Salisbury sideline to settle the ball. With about 1:30 to play in this first half. Shell plays it back for Rogers. Gonzalez made him think twice about it. Seagulls now pressuring the ball much farther up the field than they were at the beginning of this game. See if Mary Washington's able to make one more offensive push before the half ends. Seagulls jump that one. This one, a precautionary boot from Nathan Terrell, just takes it out of bounds. Final seconds coming off the clock in this first half. Wendell slides to the ball just in case. We are through 45 minutes of play here at Siegel Soccer Stadium. Mary Washington leads their wall almost as far as the Eagles' box. They force a turnover in the midfield. Young finds Gordon on the near side. Gordon points to the spot that he wants Miller to occupy. Gordon swings that one in. Not a problem for Freddie Rogers. Now Francisconi. A lot of room in the middle of the field. Leaves it for his teammate to catch up to. Whistle blows. Wendell had a chance to stop that one from going out of bounds, but wasn't able to field the ball cleanly. It'll be another corner kick for the Eagles. Into the box. Still bouncing. Alex Floyd fighting hard for that one. Earns himself a whistle. They're looking all the way downfield. Pierce gives Trauma a chance. Amaros and Gordon fighting for position once again. Terrell got that one by Pierce to his teammate. Now slicing through the defense before that ball's turned away. Gordon turns it back to Williamson. Trauma fighting through a couple defenders. Maintains his hold on the ball. Gordon falls on the ball, and he's not going to be happy about that one. He felt like there was a lot of contact. Castillo plays it back across midfield. Williamson's able to get to that one, but falls at the foot of Amaros. Salisbury University thanks its sponsors and corporate partners of Siegel Athletics. They are Lafayette Federal Credit Union, Nautilus Solar, Hopper's Tap House, University Park, Peninsula Orthopedic Associates, We'll put that on hold for just a moment. It looked like the Eagles might have something developing. Seagulls deep in their own corner. They handle it. Now up the field. Floyd isn't able to keep a hold of it. Berg racing with Rarig. Rarig's able to fight him off. Back to the sponsors and corporate partners of Seagull Athletics. Peninsula Orthopedic Associates, Island Creamery, Maryland National Guard, BioLife Plasma, the Irish Penny Pub and Grill, ServPro of the Lower Shore, Rise Up Coffee Roasters, Saltine Warrior Sports Pub, and Harry's Bar. Castillo sees Young take it away from him. Gordon stays on the ground behind the play. Trauma out race to the ball, a strong challenge from Nathan Masek. Now on the far side of the field, it's Jack Schwartz. He turns away that run from Julian Schmuggy. Pierce tries to turn it straight up the line. That ball lofted into the box. Wendell dealt with it fine. There was a bit of contact from Amoros, who wanted a piece of it. I think the whistle was blown not for the contact, but actually for offsides. Wendell misstruck that one. Kirkland lost his footing. Under 35 to play now in this second half. Mary Washington still leads Salisbury 1-0. They lead in shots 8-3. 3 corner kicks for the Eagles as opposed to 0 for Salisbury. Now a free kick here in a dangerous spot. Castillo passes it. It'll be Amoros to take the kick. That ball's headed up. Wendell deals with it off the bounce. Big boot from the junior keeper. Sees the Eagles win back possession immediately. Amoros up the field. Schwartz sends it right back. That pass from Francisconi to Amoros. Well too hot. Don't forget to visit our friends at Nautilus Solar to learn how to lower your monthly utility bill and power your home with clean energy. With Nautilus Community Solar, everyone who lives in Maryland and pays a utility bill is guaranteed to save 10% or 25% if you qualify as low to moderate income. All you need to do is sign up. No investment, roof, or commitment is needed. Learn more at nautilussolar.com. That's NAUTILUSSOLAR.com. Gordon now on the ball, entering the Eagles' third. Williamson and Gordon working in tandem. Salisbury sideline pointed, indicating it was their ball. The official disagreed. Kirkland looked like he was grabbed around the waist by Williamson. Play restarts with Francesconi on the ball now. Francesconi and Schmuggy sending it back and forth a bit. The Eagles opt to play it back now. Pierce flies out to challenge Shell, who is able to work it past him. Kirkland fighting with Schwarz. Now the ball to Kirkland in the box. That was a good-looking opportunity for Mary Washington, but the Seagull defense collapsed on Kirkland. He didn't have a chance to get the shot off. Masick all the way across the field. Schmuggy opts to turn around with Pierce hounding him. Masick passes to Amoros, and Williamson with a physical challenge. Gordon let that ball pass by him. Berg now at the top of the box. That was a really good-looking chance for Carter Berg, the junior out of Reston, Virginia. Just got under that one a little too much. Had a chance to put this game nearly out of reach for the Seagulls, but for all the offense that we've seen from Mary Washington, it still is a one-goal deficit. One single play could knot this game up. Now Berg down the far sideline, takes it to the middle. That pass was intended for Kirkland, intercepted by Rarig. Amoros working against Williamson. Now Gordon takes over. Amoros almost split the defenders, but he draws a whistle. Officials deem there was enough contact. That is going to be a penalty kick. Now the biggest moment of the day for the keeper, Josh Wendell. Amoros taking the kick. And he puts it past him. Mary Washington extends their lead to 2-0. Wendell had the side right, but the placement was just too good for Amoros. He tucked that all the way up against the near post. It's the third goal of the year for Amoros. The fourth, actually. That first goal was credited to him. Excuse me. Second goal of the day for Amoros. His first penalty kick of the season. Sophomore out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, has certainly provided a spark for Mary Washington today. Now as the clock has passed under 30 minutes in the second half, here on Senior Day, the Seagulls are going to have to enter desperation mode, finding themselves down 2 tallies. Seagulls trying to orchestrate some counterattack. Sabur able to catch up to that one. Now in the corner. Works it infield. Lofts it to the far side of the box. The cross was a little too strong from Aiden Sabur. Salisbury clearly trying to pressure the ball really as early as they can now. They don't want to give any real estate to Washington. Sabur, a couple skill moves, and it goes in. Sabur had the ball at his foot. He gave a couple moves, a quick touch, and he sent it just under the crossbar. Keeper Freddie Rogers got a piece of it but couldn't get enough. And as quickly as the lead was extended to 2-0, the freshman Aiden Sabur cuts it in half. Life for the Seagulls with 28 minutes to play. Salisbury working hard up the field on defense. That ball cut off by Williamson. A little bit of momentum for the Seagulls, maybe. Brady Young a little too strong on the return pass to Williamson. But still, the Seagulls know they have to pressure the ball every opportunity. Could leave them vulnerable on the back end, though. Young unable to play it how they want. How he wanted, excuse me. Now, Mary Washington trying to find a counter. And it's Gordon that cuts it off. Barwick back to Young. Fighting for it in the midfield. Floyd finds Sabur in the box. He was fended off well by the Mary Washington defense. And now it's the Eagles with some room to run. Williamson. Kirkland receives it at the top of the box. Tries to turn on it. Another chance. Back to his right foot. And Wendell's equal to it. Josh Wendell will slow the play down. Let his teammates and himself catch their collective breath. That ball almost passed to Sabur off the head of Barwick. Rarig on defense. Now it's Castillo who has that one challenged by Williamson. At the very least, that goal from Sabur got the crowd back into it. You can feel the energy here at Seagull Soccer Stadium. Young's able to reach that one. Gordon finds Barwick in the middle of the field. Now Floyd up to Miller. Sabur, can he find magic twice? Into the box. Fended off by the Mary Washington defense. feels like in this second half, in the past few minutes, the switch was flipped every time Seagulls cross midfield with the ball. There's a certain level of anticipation in this stadium. Rarig had that ball played past him by Albritton. Whistle was drawn. It'll be Castillo on the free kick. Castillo surveys the box and lifts it out of play past the far post. Tanner Calzado enters the game for the Seagulls. It'll be Alex Floyd taking a seat for him. Josh Kirkland for Mary Washington, also now on the bench. Burr gets that one to Young. A lot of contact from behind. The whistle's blown. This one just a yard or two outside the box. Still a dangerous place in the field for a free kick. Who takes this one for the Seagulls? Gordon and Young both sizing it up. Grady Young and Dale Gordon talking about what they might want to do here. Young plays it low. That's turned away by Durrell. Shores tries to get it back in the box. Mary Washington on the far side of the field, working patiently. Gordon was able to recover to that one at first, and then Berg gets a shove in the back from Appleby. Free kick played straight across to Masek. That was a beautiful ball all the way across to Hoskins. Williamson off the field with Cooper Santos taking his place now. And for Mary Washington, Francisconi, and Castillo each take a seat. This ball up to Sabur now. Seagulls don't really have numbers. Barwick races to it. Freddie Rogers got out there quick enough to get a piece of it. Appleby tried to get there after the deflection. Freddie Rogers holds the ball on the ground right now. Clock will stop for an injury. Just a few ticks over 20 minutes to play
Well done, Aiden.
here in Salisbury. The Mary Washington Eagles lead the Salisbury Seagulls 2-1. Clock restarts as we restart play. Santos found Sabur. Sabur couldn't hold on to it. Rarig, little miscommunication. This will end up being a goal kick. Albritton wasn't able to do quite what he hoped with that ball. In the Maryland Army National Guard, get a head start on a career in exciting fields, including science, communications, and engineering. The Maryland Army National Guard can pay up to 100% of your tuition so you can focus on learning. To learn more about the Maryland Army National Guard, go to nationalguard.com/MD. That's nationalguard.com/MD. Gordon and Albritton get tangled up right at midfield on the far sideline. Gordon remains down. Officials issue a yellow card to Albritton. Number 16, Joel Albritton, junior out of Chesapeake, Virginia, earns the second yellow card of the game, second for Mary Washington. Gordon is slow to get up, but he does get up under his own power. Now Gordon, it looks like he's going to trot off the field.
Okay.
In his place, it'll be Ryan Kegley taking the field, sophomore. Kegley lofts it into the box. And a whistle blows. The Seagulls sideline erupted. This appears like it's going to be a penalty kick. I think the call might have been a handball. Who is going to take this for the Seagulls? In a game that was 2-0 just a few minutes ago. It'll be Connor Appleby on his day. Can he be the hero? Appleby. He's got it. This game is tied. On senior day, the lone graduating senior for the Seagulls finds the back of the net, and he finds a way to equalize against the number 2 team in the nation. Mary Washington is stunned right now. Jubilation for the Seagulls. Silence on the Eagle sideline. Now with 18:35 to play, the result of this game hangs in the balance. Mary Washington really controlled the whole first half of play. They had a penalty kick from Amorose to go up 2-0. Then a wonderful goal off an individual effort from the freshman Aiden Sabur. Then the senior Connor Appleby capitalizes on the penalty kick. Here we are, knotted at 2. Seagulls haven't been lacking for energy for really this whole second half. But they can feel it now. They're searching for another impressive result against the top 2 team in the country. A young squad, a head coach in his second season. They feel like they have something to prove. And that ball straight into the hands of Freddie Rogers. Now bounces around midfield. It's collected by Mary Washington. Hoskins running with it. Berg has his ball deflected out of bounds. Will be a Mary Washington corner. 2 goals today for the Seagulls against the junior keeper, Freddie Rogers. Rogers had allowed just 3 goals all season long. Salisbury finds a way to get 2 past him today. This ball into the box now. Straight up in the air and out of play. Josh Wendell hopes his teammates will be able to do something with this one. Appleby not able to keep that one in play. That ball jumped by Shell. Vargas has it denied. Santos works it to Welsh. Sabur working down the sideline, thought about turning around, plays it into the box. And that was a perfect connection from Sabur to Santos. Santos just couldn't fool Freddie Rogers off the bounce. Now 15 to play in this one. As Berg's got it in the box. And the side of the net. Wendell didn't have to deal with it. Now the 5th corner of the game for the Eagles. Guzman on the ball. The whistle blows. It'll be going the other way. A game that seemed out of reach for the Seagulls about 15 minutes ago. They find themselves knotted up. The number 2 team in the nation. Are they going to be able to find a way to break through and pull out a shocker here? Sabur, he's got some space on the other side of midfield. Lots of contact, the whistle blows. And the flag points against the Seagulls. Shell has that one jumped by Kegley. Eagles maintain possession though. This ball bouncing, keeper's off his line. Albritton working at the edge of the box. Can't get around on it, sends it wide of the near post. Got wholesale substitutions on both sides for the final 12 and a half minutes of this one. Mary Washington has one loss this season. They have not tied. Seagulls, on the other hand, 4 ties on their record. 4-1-4 are the Salisbury Seagulls. Guzman working the near side. Leaves it off for Amoros. Amoros, who's been much of the offense for the Eagles today, sees that one harmlessly into the hands of Wendell. Junior keeper surveying. That one off the side of his foot. Santos challenges that ball, earns a throw-in. Amoros finds Kirkland. Eagles play it back as they've done so well for much of today. It's when the Seagulls started pressuring that, they started finding more success. This ball to Guzman, the edge of the box. It's deflected upfield. Amoros now off his left foot. That ball's loose. Kirkland, there's a lot of traffic and Wendell dives on it. That was a dangerous ball into the box. Wendell made a save initially. He couldn't corral it, and Kirkland had a chance at it. Couldn't navigate. Young back for Gordon. Seagulls looking for a way up the field. Trauma fighting with Terrell. Williamson will re-enter the game. Cooper Santos takes a seat. Trauma waiting to throw in on the far side of the field. Tries to get it to the heart of the box. It's loose and punted to midfield by the Mary Washington defense. Schmuggy. Now it's Santana across to Amoros. Amoros finds Kirkland. Now back to Amoros, who thought about a chip to Berg. The Mary Washington sideline is complaining about that play from Josh Wendell. Officials didn't have any issue with it. This ball fought for on the Mary Washington side of midfield. And Sabur just barely out of his reach. Castillo re-enters the game. Diego Guzman now on the bench. Mary Washington throw in on this near sideline. A miscommunication there from the Eagles. Schmuggy's got Appleby on him. Now Gordon's able to wrestle him off it. Whistle blows in favor of the Seagulls. 7.5 to play. All tied up at 2 here on Senior Day. Seagull Soccer Stadium. That ball. The goal's open. And Kirkland does what he needs to do. Wendell charged the ball. It was in an awkward spot right outside the box. A deflection or two later, and Josh Kirkland found himself staring at an open net. He was able to take advantage, putting the Eagles up 3-2 now with under 7 minutes to play. For Kirkland, that's his 5th goal of the year. Senior out of Richmond, Virginia. Certainly deflating for Salisbury. They fight so hard to get back into it in this second half. I felt like they'd done enough. They have more to do now. Now Mary Washington has no objective other than salting away the remaining. Found Will Thompson, who now works in the corner. That's kept in bounds by Jacob Rarig. Jake Trauma wants to go quickly. That's an easy call for the official. Liam Pierce with a physical challenge, sent his defender to the ground. Masek. This ball will reach the box, turned away by Williamson. Under 1 minute to play here at Seagull Stadium. Amaros, the ball at his foot on this near sideline. That whistle favors the Seagulls. Sabur took the ball away. Amaros provided a lot of contact, it seemed. Rarig boots it for what is going to be the Seagulls' last gasp. Williamson unable to beat Berg to this ball. Under 30 seconds to play now. No whistle. Francisconi looked like he may have been taken down. Officials thought there wasn't enough. Wendell has no choice but to kick that ball out of bounds, and that's going to do it. The clock's hit 0 here on Senior Day.